Next on C-SPAN 2, from Buenos Aires, Argentina, a speech by Vice President Al Gore. He spoke about the future of communications at a conference sponsored by the International Telecommunications Union on Monday.
I have come here 8,000 kilometers from my home to ask you to help create a global information infrastructure. To explain why, I want to begin by reading you something that I first read in high school 30 years ago. By means of electricity, the world of matter has become a great nerve, vibrating thousands of miles in a breathless point of time. The round globe is a vast brain instinct with intelligence. This was not the observation of a physicist or a neurologist. Instead, these visionary words were written in 1851 by Nathaniel Hawthorne, one of my country's greatest writers, who was inspired by the development of the telegraph. Much as Jules Verne foresaw submarines and moon landings, Hawthorne foresaw what we are now poised to bring into being. The ITU was created only 14 years later, in major part for the purpose of fostering an internationally compatible system of telegraphy. For almost 150 years, people have aspired to fulfill Hawthorne's vision, to wrap nerves of communications around the globe, linking all human knowledge. In this decade, at this conference, we now have at hand the technological breakthroughs and economic means to bring all of the communities of the world together. We now can at last create a planetary information network that transmits messages and images with the speed of light from the largest city to the smallest village on every continent. I am very proud to have the opportunity to address the first development conference of the ITU because President Clinton and I believe that an essential prerequisite to sustainable development for all members of the human family is the creation of this network of networks. To accomplish this purpose, legislators, regulators, and business people must do this: build and operate a global information infrastructure. This GII will circle the globe with information superhighways on which all people can travel. These superhighways, or more accurately, networks of distributed intelligence, will allow us to share information, to connect, and to communicate as a global community. From these connections, we will derive robust and sustainable economic progress, strong democracies, better solutions to global and local environmental challenges, improved health care, and ultimately, a greater sense of shared stewardship of our small planet. The global information infrastructure will help educate our children and allow us to exchange ideas within a community and among nations. It will be a means by which families and friends will transcend the barriers of time and distance. It will make possible a global information marketplace where consumers can buy or sell products. I ask you, the delegates to this conference, to set an ambitious agenda that will help all governments in their own sovereign nations and in international cooperation to build this global information infrastructure. For my country's part, I pledge our vigorous continued participation in achieving this goal in the development sector of the ITU, in other sectors and in plenipotentiary gatherings of the ITU and in bilateral discussions held by our Departments of State and Commerce and our Federal Communications Commission. The development of the GII must be a cooperative effort